India has signed its first purchase order for unapproved COVID-19 shots. The government will buy 300 million doses from a local firm, Biological E, even though the vaccine is still undergoing phase 3 trials. With India's second wave now dying down, attention is moving to urgently vaccinating the vast population. The Supreme Court has criticised the national rollout so far. It says the government has failed to ensure a healthy supply of shots for those eligible. It's also asked why those between the ages of 18 and 44 have to pay for their vaccinations. Ishan Garg joins us with more. Ishan, tell us more about the government as it now tries to get more vaccinations made locally.
Well, the government is going to be spending more than $200 million to procure these vaccines from Biological E. Now, what we've been given to understand from the company is that the phase 1 and phase 2 trials have gone very smoothly and they have shown great results. And authorities are also hopeful that phase 3 trials will also show similar results. Now, Biological E is going to be manufacturing these doses between the month of August and December. So it's likely that these vaccines will only hit the shelf in the country by the later part of this year, perhaps by the end of this year, which means that they will not be able to plug the supply hole that's troubling the country's inoculation drive at the moment. Several vaccination centers across the country have shut down. The capital itself has suspended vaccination for people between the age of 18 and 45. Now, there are other steps also being taken to ramp up the vaccination supply. We've heard from the Serum Institute of India, the country's largest vaccine maker. It's looking to mass manufacture the Sputnik V vaccine, which was originally developed in Russia. It's already being made in India by a company called Dr. Butras, but Serum Institute is looking to magnify that capacity even more because it is the largest manufacturer of vaccines in the country. It's also going to be supplying more than 100 million doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca shot in June, which is hoped to plug the supply gap that's plaguing the country's inoculation drive at the moment.
And at the same time, the government is also under pressure to explain its vaccine roadmap to the country's top court.
Absolutely. I mean, the Supreme Court has called India's current plan to vaccinate people prima facie. It says that the country does not have a proper plan of vaccination. It's asked the government of India to provide a complete map of how it's going to vaccinate more than 1 billion people. It says that in order to inoculate such a large population, the government is going to need more than 2 billion shots, which the government says that will be available by the end of this week. But by the end of this year. But the Supreme Court is saying that this is rather not likely because a number of companies that the government is looking to rely upon haven't even started manufacturing their shots yet. There are some companies which are currently undergoing stage 1 and stage 2 trials. So it's looking unlikely from the Supreme Court's perspective that the government will be able to fulfill its target. Now, the court has also asked the government to provide a map of how it's going to inoculate different age groups. And it's also asked the government to provide accurate data of how many vaccines are being available every single month, how many more vaccines will be required, how many vaccines have been already delivered, and has given the government about 2 weeks of time to comply with the request that the court has made.
Ishan Garg reporting from New Delhi.